Okay, so Jackie again with book number 3. Excuse me. This time it's a little bit smaller. I'm not sure I made it smaller. It's 5 1/4 by 7 1/2, just over. And this is fabric, a cotton fabric over some cardstock liners. Put one of my little collaged embroideries on the front of this one for a change. And I found this gorgeous sari ribbon, which went so beautifully with the cover. I couldn't believe it, really. So this is what she looks like on the inside. I'll show you her open. No dangles on this one. So this is from the 1950s. And there's an invoice here from 1933. See the card that I used on the inside. Oh, sorry, that's just an image out of a book that I quite liked. So that's on there. In this pocket, this is from a calendar. Stuck that on just to add a bit more interest. And then there's a little flower fairy tag. That's made from some paper from a 6-inch. I don't know if you're like me. I've still got 10 or 15 6x6-inch paper pads from the days of scrapbooking, and I'd never used them, but they do make a nice little tag actually. And this is from 1933. Put some stenciling here. This is a postcard. It's not written on. It's quite old, obviously, but it's not written on. This was some wrapping paper. It was quite thin. I liked the colour to go with this book, so I mounted it onto a vintage document and that was also quite thin, and I've stitched around, so that should be fairly secure. This is from a book, and I've got a little glassine envelope there. This is a magazine page. It's actually out of a book, a big old sort of encyclopedia type book, but it's a whole lot of magazines all put together. A little journal card there. And in this pocket here, I've just put you one of those Tim Holtz style collage strips that I've turned into another tag. This is a vintage document, 1942. This is Minnie, I believe. I'm going to call this Minnie. So it says, "Dear Minnie, I suppose you would like to know who you are sending postal cards to. Well, this is Kate. It isn't so very good. Write soon." So I don't know what that's all about. Maybe they were pen pals or something like that. I don't know if that's Kate or Minnie, but I like the name Minnie, so we'll call her Minnie, this book. A little invoice from 1933. Put a tiny little snail stamped onto fabric down here, and this is a journal card. Oh, sorry, not a journal card, an old library card. Just added some reinforcers around there to brighten it up. I've got a vintage envelope that I've used as a book page. Not sure how old that is. And in the back of that, there is some scraps of vintage French school paper. And this little pocket has got that in. This is a chapter 1 digital. A little photograph there from the 1950s. And on the other side, I've just made a little journaling card, I suppose. fussy cutting. There's a bit more from the article from that book, Helen's List. And this is from a magazine from 1923. Sorry, I was trying to think what it was. It's a church magazine, so there might be some religious connotations in there. This is part of an old document that was printed on a sort of parchment paper. Some very pretty or very soft silk ribbon. This is from the 1950s, and in the pocket, this is also an old document. This is from the days when newsagents wrote all their takings down on paper. And this is from a French newspaper or magazine. Here's my usual floral middle pages. The other side of that document. In this pocket, this is an old French document. I think it's from 1885, 16th of November 1985. It's beautiful, beautiful writing and beautiful paper. So that's a little bit special, that one. And this is a little tag that I popped together with my one of my favourite flower fairies, the willow fairy. I can never choose just one of those though. It's just a little journal card on music paper tucked in there. And this folds out, and I've just popped some blank ledger paper on the inside of that. This again, I've just literally wrapped this round. I just liked the way it looked against this. I like to brighten up the plainer pages a little bit. So that's, and obviously you can write on there. These pinks pick up pink. This is a glassine bag that I've turned into a pocket. So there's just a very simple journal card in there. And then in the back, there's a tag on an old computer card. Another photograph from the 1950s. That's the back of the envelope. In here, how we are learning to dispense with many unnecessary features that had seemed essentials in our lives. So that's quite old, but maybe quite pertinent to today, maybe. And an old postcard. It's from a book, so I've left the perforations there. There's a bit more of that pretty silk ribbon. This I just turned into a little tuck spot. I think that was sitting on my desk and it seemed to go with the rest of it. This is that paper, and you can see where I've melded it to the vintage document. And this is an envelope made out of a really, really old book page with a little cabinet card in there. It was quite crooked, the book page, but I've left it as is, and then picked up the colours here. And then in this one, that is from a magazine, Good Housekeeping magazine, I think from the 20s or possibly the 50s. Does it say on it? It's a shame they don't put on the magazine pages that they don't put the dates. And this is just an envelope. It's empty, from 1955. This postcard, no stamp, Just a card to David from Grandma with best wishes and an invoice from 1933. Whoop. Like the way she's chosen a little boy. And that's the back. So that's Minnie, and I will be back soon with a tutorial.